Once upon a time, in a quiet little neighborhood, there lived a young boy named Sammy. Sammy had bright, curious eyes that always looked for new adventures and a big, cheerful smile that could light up any room. His very best friend was his fluffy white dog named Witty. Witty had the softest fur you could ever imagine, floppy ears that bounced when he walked, and a tail that wagged with excitement whenever he saw his favorite boy. One cloudy afternoon, Sammy was sitting by his bedroom window, watching the grey clouds roll across the sky. It looked like it might rain soon. Witty was lying beside him, his head resting on Sammy's lap, when suddenly they heard a soft rumbling sound from outside. "Did you hear that, Witty?" Sammy asked, gently scratching behind Witty's ears. Witty lifted his head and tilted it to one side, listening carefully. The rumbling sound came again, and this time, both Sammy and Witty knew what it was: thunder. Soon, raindrops began to patter against the window. Sammy watched as the drops raced down the glass, making little rivers. "Looks like we'll be staying inside today, Witty," Sammy said with a small sigh. But then Sammy had a wonderful idea. His eyes lit up, and he jumped to his feet. "I know what we can do. Let's build a cozy fort right here in the living room." Witty's tail began to wag with excitement. He loved it when Sammy had new ideas. Sammy ran to the closet and pulled out soft blankets, fluffy pillows, and even his favorite stuffed bear. Witty followed close behind, his paws making soft tapping sounds on the wooden floor. First, Sammy arranged the couch cushions on the floor to make a soft base. Then he draped a big blue blanket over 2 chairs, creating a perfect tent. Witty watched carefully, sometimes bringing Sammy a pillow in his mouth to help with the fort. "Good job, Witty. You're the best helper ever," Sammy said, patting Witty's head. Witty's tail wagged so hard his whole body wiggled with joy. Inside their cozy fort, Sammy arranged the pillows to make it extra comfortable. He placed his stuffed bear in one corner and made a special spot for Witty right beside him. The blanket walls made everything feel safe and warm, even with the rain pattering outside. "Now we need snacks for our fort," Sammy announced. He crawled out and went to the kitchen, with Witty padding along beside him. Sammy's mom helped him prepare a small plate of crackers, some apple slices, and a bowl of water for Witty. They also got a flashlight to make their fort feel extra special. Back in their fort, Sammy and Witty settled in comfortably. Sammy munched on his crackers while Witty crunched on his favorite dog biscuits. The rain continued to fall outside, making a gentle, rhythmic sound on the roof. "You know what, Witty?" Sammy said, turning on the flashlight and making shadow puppets on the blanket wall. "This is even better than playing outside. We have our own special hideaway." Sammy made shadow rabbits and birds with his hands, and Witty watched with great interest, sometimes trying to catch the shadows with his paw. They both giggled. Well, Sammy giggled and Witty made happy little huffing sounds. As the afternoon went on, Sammy decided to tell Witty a story. "Once upon a time," Sammy began, "there was a brave dog who could fly through the clouds." Witty's ears perked up as if he knew the story was about a dog like him. Sammy continued his story, describing how the flying dog helped children who were sad and brought sunshine to rainy days. Witty listened carefully, his head tilted and his eyes focused on Sammy's face. After the story, they played a quiet game of hide and seek inside the fort. Sammy would hide behind a pillow, and Witty would gently find him with his nose. Then Witty would hide behind the stuffed bear, and Sammy would pretend to look everywhere before finding his furry friend. As the rain began to slow down, Sammy and Witty lay side by side in their fort, listening to the gentle sounds outside. The thunder had stopped, and now they could hear birds starting to chirp again. "Witty," Sammy whispered, "I think rainy days are special too. We got to build this amazing fort and spend the whole afternoon together." Witty nuzzled closer to Sammy and gave a soft, contented sigh. Through a gap in their blanket fort, they could see that the sun was starting to peek through the clouds, making everything outside sparkle with raindrops. "Look, Witty. The sun is coming out," Sammy said excitedly. "Maybe tomorrow we can play outside and jump in the puddles." As evening approached, Sammy's mom called them for dinner. Reluctantly, they crawled out of their cozy fort, but Sammy decided to leave it up for the night. "We can sleep in our fort tonight, Witty. It'll be like camping indoors." That night, Sammy and Witty snuggled together in their blanket fort. The house was quiet, and outside, the last few raindrops were falling gently. Sammy felt warm and safe with his best friend beside him. "Thank you for the best rainy day ever, Witty," Sammy whispered as he closed his eyes. Witty's tail gave one last little wag before he too drifted off to sleep. "Good night, little dreamers. May your dreams be filled with cozy forts, gentle rain, and the warmth of friendship, just like Sammy and Witty's." If you enjoyed this story, Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to Fuzzy Fable Factory for more gentle bedtime adventures. Sweet dreams, and see you next time.